Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to this week's episode.
Yes, we gotta record beforehand, way beforehand, because we're getting hit by Ian.
Yes.
Ian is coming towards Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of nasty weather.
I think he hit Cuba today.
Yeah, it hit Cuba this morning.
Yes.
Tuesday morning. So here we go. We're gonna talk about Halloween.
Halloween. We're gonna talk about Halloween. It's fast approaching. The stores are full of Halloween stuff. I saw Christmas trees this week.
I know.
But anyways, so we'll be right back.
Next episode coming your way.
We are back.
We're back. Buenas noches. Buenos días. Buenas tardes.
All of that.
All of that in a bag of chips.
Yes. The weather is atrocious today.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's just only going to get worse over the next few days. So we just wanted to put out a video before we're able to not put out a video. And yeah, we've decided that we are going to talk about Halloween and what that means for many of our kiddos.
But before we do that, Ian, like we said, bad weather, raining nonstop.
Yep.
No school for Miami-Dade County Public Schools for Wednesday and Thursday.
As of now.
As of right now. Then for Broward, it's only on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. As of now, they may announce another, more closures, but...
Right.
And
private schools is like a touch and go.
Yeah, it's always tricky.
Yeah.
They usually follow, for the most part, the lead of the public school system in that district. But always check. Just in case. But
so he's coming to hit us. Unfortunately, it hit Cuba this morning. Yeah. And hopefully that, it doesn't
cause too much over here. And I know that, I always feel so bad with these storms when they hit, when they hit Puerto Rico, twice. I know that in 2017, Puerto Rico got hit by a really bad one and then another one that didn't hit them directly, but they were already without power from the first storm. So
and
it's...
the wind, the rain doesn't help and... Yeah.
And, it seems like Cuba gets hit a lot and they just don't even have the resources. So... Unfortunately.
Hopefully everything is okay with them and hopefully it doesn't make that much of an impact for us anywhere in Florida because it looks like we're all over that cone.
Right.
So...
and it's...
Or that cone is all over us.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Right. And also... because I know we weren't even going to talk about that, but I don't think we didn't really talk about that, but these storms are also very, very difficult on our kids.
Yes.
Mainly because of the change in routine. They can't go outside.
They can't go to school.
Yeah.
They can't go outside. Light goes off.
Right.
Everybody's on edge. They feel that.
I 100% believe that they feed off that energy. When, the family and the parents are worried, the kids, they feel that. Also, I don't know if your kiddo uses the tablet a lot. Mine does not care for the tablet, but does like the TV. So that is a huge problem I see across many of the autism support groups that I'm in on social media, where parents, they struggle really bad with electronics.
Yes.
Whether it's that they don't have Wi-Fi or they don't have power and they're not able to charge it. I don't think anybody realizes how so many kids are so dependent on that. And not just that. Some of them actually, if you have a kiddo that's nonverbal, a lot of them rely on the devices to be able to communicate and use it as a talking device. So
yeah, it's not just for entertainment.
It's not just for entertainment.
We don't want parents, it's like, there's not a babysitter. Listen, no, we know that. We know that. I'm one of them that, if I could get away with not, for him not to use it, but hey, listen, sometimes for his sake, my sake, and everybody's sake, it's it's a thing to do.
I don't have a problem with the iPad, but mine doesn't care for it either. And actually, that's actually another topic that we're going to discuss in another episode. We talked about choosing your battles. And that's probably going to be our next. Yes. That might be our next one.
Yes, that's one of them. Yep. Pick and choose your battles.
Yep. Very important.
iPad, phone, all electronics.
Yeah. Hey. Is it worth your misery? You know, and yeah. So that's a whole other topic that we're going to discuss soon. But here we are. Hurricane prep.
Well, I was here waiting for Missy over here. Mm-hmm. And waiting. But for a good reason.
It wasn't that long.
Yeah, I know. Okay, fine. But for good reason. Mm-hmm. What a mission you had to go through this morning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that like when you know what you know, right? We always say that. When you don't have to deal with certain things, just like I wouldn't know what other people struggle with when it's not something that's directly that hits us
that
directly.
You actually go through.
Right. Yeah. But today my kiddos had a doctor's appointment and before school, and so my husband had to go into work late, but we had to go in 2 cars because one person had to go in with one child and get the child seen quickly. Justin is not able to wait at the doctor's office. That's very, very difficult for him. So, but I needed the doctor to fill out stuff. So we had to go in 2 cars. It was just a lot of driving around just to have a doctor's appointment. And that was actually pretty smooth compared to how we have to deal with other issues sometimes. Like sometimes I can't get an appointment at a specific time and I have to have staff go with me because I can't take him by myself due to safety issues. So that is also a problem, and I have to coordinate with the staff and make sure that they're all available, or so it's a lot. Then I had to end up going back to get some paper signed that I couldn't do because I had to get the kids to school. So that's the main reason why I had stepped out and we weren't able to start recording.
Yeah. So I forgive her for that, you know. Yeah. This time was not croquetas. Mm-hmm. Which,
True. Yeah. True. and I did take just a little bit longer than what I should have taken because I made a little detour. Like it was literally like 5 minutes difference.
Yeah. Okay.
But she wasn't mad.
No, I wasn't mad either. No. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. But see, I bring this up because sometimes, again, you know what you know, right? And you know what you go through, and you know what your struggle is. But sometimes we don't put ourselves in other people's shoes. Right. Right? And even if we do, we just don't know. Right. Because we don't actually go through it. Mm-hmm. And having to go to the doctor with both of your children in 2 different cars. Right. With, 2 people, fine. If dad was always able to go, perfect.
Right. That's not always the situation.
But that's not always the thing.
And that, that goes not just for kids on the spectrum. It really depends a lot on what you have had to deal with yourself. It might sound easy, right? Like go to a doctor's appointment, get in and get out. But for us, it's usually not that simple.
No, it's not.
And just things in general that we may not know anything about. I don't know if I've told you this story, but a dear friend of the family has a child who's an adult, but it's his child, in his early 20s, and he is in college, and he's against all odds. It doesn't matter to him that he's had cerebral palsy, that he has cerebral palsy. He's a very hardworking young adult, and he wants to graduate from FIU, and he's just like an inspiration to so many. But one of the issues that he was having is somebody who worked with Justin, the father worked with Justin for a while. One of the issues that he was having at some point, so the boy's in a wheelchair, or the young adult. And one of the issues that he was having was he couldn't take the special transportation because his wheelchair doesn't close. It's not the kind that you can open and close them. It's a permanent one that goes in his dad's van. But his dad has to work, because we have to pay bills. And so his dad was struggling because he wanted him to get to and from school, but he wasn't able to close the wheelchair to be able to put the wheelchair in the special transportation. So he asked the college, can he bring another wheelchair, you know, and keep it in a room that's near where he would get the special transportation, in which there is a room. And they said that he couldn't do that because they couldn't store the chair in there for him.
They couldn't house it.
They couldn't house it. And he's like, well, he'll get it every day. It's just so that he has the mechanical good chair all over campus.
Right.
You know, the one that, you know, he doesn't have to do a whole lot in it, you know, because he gets tired to have to push himself around everywhere. Yeah. So that chair is more convenient, but it's not the kind that you can open and close. And they would not house it. So because they wouldn't hold the other chair for him. Now, the other chair is like a real cheap one, the kind that, but at least it would be just for a while he's waiting for transportation. The person for transportation will put it in their trunk and all done. But yeah.
Yeah, you got to jump through hoops. Mm-hmm. It's insane what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Tell me what Justin was singing with your husband in the car.
Yes. So this kid, he loves music so much that, you know,
he's too much.
Yeah, he loves music and he'll learn the songs like right away. And I didn't even realize that, because I've never played that song for him, so I don't even know. But he was singing Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby on the way to school today. My husband texts me and tells me, and I was like, oh my God. Like, that's crazy. Like, I really didn't know he knew that one. But awesome. He loves Queen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has and he's loved Queen forever.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
He has, and he's got some pipes on him.
Yeah. You know, not like before. I feel like but he also practiced a lot more. Yeah, and his voice changed.
Yeah. So it's a little more.
He sounds and looks like a man.
Yeah.
But
So let's get to it.
Yes.
Halloween.
Confession. Oh.
Confession.
Oh, wait. I hate Halloween. You know.
We're gonna start with that.
Yeah. Also, pumpkin spice lattes too.
Ooh, yeah, no. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
And I really wanted to like them. Like, I've tried them from different places.
I have not. I think I've taken a sip. I don't even know if it's from yours.
Oh, I don't know.
Or from somebody's. But I've taken a sip and it's like.
I've tried, just because I love coffee and I'm a coffee drinker, and I'll try most coffees. And I like pumpkin. Like, I'll eat pumpkin pie.
Sí, pero separado.
And sí, pumpkin pie. And I like una calabaza hervida. Yes, calabaza hervida. Like in a soup or whatever. I love that. So I figured, well, why not? No. It is an absolutely disgusting drink, and I don't know why anybody drinks it. But, you know, to each his own.
Yeah.
But yes, that and Halloween, I've never been a fan since I was a kid. I just didn't care for it. Like, I would do it because, you know.
Everybody was.
Or, you know. But I never cared for it. And then having a child with special needs really made me want to hate it more. Because he doesn't care for it either. And the costumes are hot and itchy and uncomfortable and cheap and expensive. You know, cheap fabric.
And
like, so, but yeah, now that I have another kid, I have to kind of
like it
with the Halloween bullshit, but I'm not
a fan.
No,
not a fan.
But anyway,
well, I've been a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But with a special needs child,
mm-hmm.
you have to. What do you have to do? Sensory issues,
mm-hmm.
Tantrums, meltdowns, and go on and on and on, right?
Right.
So sometimes you gotta find a costume that doesn't have a mask.
Yes.
Because they don't wear the mask.
Yes.
They hate to put something on their face or something tight or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's always been a struggle for us.
Yeah.
Always.
You gotta find a costume that is not that cheap, itchy, whatever. Because then you see them that they're all uncomfortable and just they can't hack it.
Yeah. I think another thing too is that it's very hot here, in South Florida.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll have cooler weather on Halloween, but not always. And when it's really hot, like when it's our usual, 90-degree weather, with those fun. Cheap fabrics, it is not
fun.
No,
not fun.
It makes it even
at all.
harder.
Yes. So you have to deal with all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my case, it's not necessarily that Angel has a food allergy. It's
mm-hmm.
that I have him on a gluten-free, casein-free diet.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on it for years now.
Right.
Okay. we started, we stopped, we started, we stopped until finally we've been on it, right?
It's more like a sensitivity to those additives and stuff, not necessarily an allergy, which is very different one from the other, but that doesn't mean he doesn't need it.
Right.
It's sensitivity.
It's sensitivity, and it's better for his gut, it's better for his mind, it's better for even for his behavior. Like you see him eating something he shouldn't, he's a little out of whack for a couple of days, a day or two. So yes, blue pumpkin. This has been going on for a couple of years now. But something went viral about the blue bucket pumpkin, no sé qué cosa. All right, guys. We will put the pictures here somewhere, either up here or down here. But we wanted to share this with you because I think we should talk about this.
Right.
I have my opinion. We all have our opinions, right?
Yeah.
And opinions are like
a-holes.
Let's just leave it at that. You guys finish that, right? So, I'm gonna even show you because I printed something. This. Okay. You will see the blue pumpkin and the teal pumpkin. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you what's the difference between the two. Blue pumpkin signifies that the child is autistic. So any child that is holding a blue pumpkin, that means that they are autistic. The teal pumpkin signifies that the child has a food allergy. People, I'm gonna say it because, la vieja Juana de la esquina is not gonna know in Hialeah. It's not gonna know what's the difference between the blue, the orange, the red, the yellow, the teal,
like
whatever.
Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have a bunch of pumpkins and just like, and not just that, a food allergy.
Listen,
what food allergy? Like, what is it? Can
Exactly.
they have dairy? Can they not have dairy? Can they have what is she supposed to say? Oh, I see you have a food allergy. Let me help you with that. What can you have? Do you want to write it down for me?
Let me go through my bucket.
Let me go through my bucket.
Let me go through my bucket and let me see. Oh, this has peanuts. This has this has milk. This has. Hello.
Honestly, so I'm not for any of them, honestly, but I didn't know that there was a second one. I didn't know that there was the
teal one,
the food sensitivity one,
yes,
or food allergy one.
Yes. So
I didn't know about that one.
We have seen and read a few things on this. Okay, there's people that don't want to listen. I am okay. Let me explain it in this way. I am okay if my child is autistic. Yeah, I want to get a blue bucket just to get the blue bucket to signify that he's autistic. Okay.
Right.
Now, am I going to rely on the freaking blue bucket?
Absolutely not.
That everyone that opens the door, okay? Because the thing is, the whole thing with this is because they're nonverbal, right? And you know how people sometimes oh yeah, say trick or treat.
Yeah, okay. And they want the kid to say trick or treat, and then also I think there's also a level of where people get upset when they see a kid that probably should be not trick or treating anymore, like older kids and teenagers and stuff like that.
Yes.
I will tell you, my son doesn't care for trick or treating. I don't even think he understands the concept of Halloween.
Angel did.
Right.
Angel did, and Angel trick or treated until right before the pandemic. That Halloween before the pandemic in 2018.
We've only done it a few times, and also trick or treating is not what it used to be either.
No.
But I will say though that even though we don't typically go out and trick or treat with him, if he were to understand next year, let's say, at age 17 or 18, he would understand the concept of Halloween and he wanted to go out trick or treating, I'm gonna take him whether he has a full grown beard or not.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do it because
darn it,
because that is a milestone, and because that is because all of a sudden now he's interested in it. we are going. Like, we're going to do it.
And he's able, and we practice it up and down, because I did it. I did it. We practiced with Angel, trick or treat. Trick or treat. How do you say when they open the door? Trick or treat. What do you say?
But I think that's the
y con
thing.
todo eso, I don't know how many times él miraba y metía la mano. ¡Wah!
But I think that if you're telling him, like if you're modeling it with him and you're asking him to say it or repeat it, and you have this person in front of you that's the one giving you the candy, I think that they would, I mean, I know that sometimes common sense isn't also common.
No.
But I would think that alone would signify to the person that your child may not be able to say it and you're working on it with him.
Right.
Which kind of then defeats the purpose of the blue basket.
Listen, the light bulb, the puzzle pieces, the blue pumpkin. I'm okay with all of that. I am okay to each his own.
I've had the blue pumpkin, but I didn't have it. Somebody did give it to me because of that purpose, because they heard about it.
Right.
And I used it, and I haven't used it, and I've used it, and it's not a big deal to me. It doesn't matter.
But are we going to rely that everyone that opens the door knows exactly what the blue and the teal pumpkin, means? Of
course not. No, of course not.
No, especially in Hialeah. Hello?
No. And not only that, people have to also take responsibility and be a parent. Like, especially, I'm really disturbed, to be honest, with the food allergy one. Like, if you're trick-or-treating with your kids and your kid has allergies, you should then, if you want your kid to have, participate in Halloween, which I 100% agree, why not? Have your candies aside, the ones that they can have. And then when the bucket comes home, you know that you have to give your kiddo the ones that he can have.
Listen.
And that's it. Like, you can't dump that responsibility on somebody else.
Okay. I 100% agree. Not only that, I have had the experience. Angel has that, diet, right? We used to go trick-or-treating. I used to grab both bags. Okay? Well, Sergio would not trick-or-treat towards the end, but cuando estaban chiquitos, when they were small. I will go through all that
That's what you're supposed to do as a parent.
Because you don't know, although I didn't go, just anywhere to,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Even in the best neighborhoods, you've seen that's happened.
You never know. And then people give you stuff without wrapping. They give you all kinds of candy. They give you candy that looks old as hell.
From last Halloween.
No, from like Halloween.
3 years ago when nobody came, so.
Melted.
Yeah.
I saw some ugly shit.
Yeah.
in those buckets, okay?
Right.
In those bags. So I would skim through it. And I will set aside. And if I didn't see enough of the stuff that Angel can have, just para que, so it could look a little bit fuller.
Right.
I used to put in stuff that he can have.
And then,
and these are your candies. You get from here. And that's it.
But one of the things that I remember always, like nowadays, it seems like almost every kiddo is allergic to peanuts, right? There's so many allergies, and not just kiddos, like adults. I don't remember when we were growing up, so many people being allergic to peanuts. And I'm using peanuts as an example because it's something that a lot of people are allergic to nowadays that we didn't see so much before.
The gluten-free diet,
but that's different. But I'm talking about peanuts. Because there's a difference between sensitivity and allergy. If someone is legit, like really allergic to peanuts, and they eat something with peanuts, they can die. And their throat will close up, and they need usually an epinephrine, like an EpiPen. And so, it is... What does that mean? Like, I'm not going to... If I have a kiddo that cannot have peanuts, I'm not going to not take them trick-or-treating or take them with a different color basket. No. When I get home, I'm going to pull out all the Snickers and eat them myself. And then... Them things are good. I'm gonna take out all the ones that I know that have peanuts that the person with allergies cannot have.
Right.
You can't leave that. So what? Now the person is not gonna have peanuts anymore because
Well, I read on the teal pumpkin that people then now should, instead of doing candy, should be doing like little toys and crayons and all different ideas.
No.
I'm like, people, listen.
Is that the same group that wanted to take the gun away from Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd? Come on, people. Grow up, parent.
You know, I
grew up watching them cartoons and I've never shot anybody. La cabeza no solamente para llevar el pelo.
No. Es verdad.
Yeah.
So, listen, people don't have money. They buy... People sometimes even buy cheap, those big cheap bags of candy.
Right.
Just para echarle algo a los muchachos. Yo le voy a estar diciendo, no, tú no tienes unos little crayons por ahí. Caballero.
It's like...
No, ¿y tú te imaginas eso en Hialeah?
No.
Con la vieja Juana de la esquina.
No.
No van a decir, hay una vieja Juana en la esquina.
No. There's a few of those.
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No. So, now, people take it another step.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're way too overboard with this sometimes. Some people are against all of this.
Right. But not for the same reasons that we are.
No.
For the most part.
Yes. It's because they are being labeled.
Right. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Here's the thing, and we've talked about this a lot. If you have a child with autism, right? What do I care if anybody else knows that he is a child with autism? He is a child with autism. Like, if you had diabetes, would you call yourself a person that doesn't have diabetes?
It can not only that. If you are someone on a wheelchair,
are you gonna like have somebody prop you up and not take the wheelchair? Because, there's this mentality of disability being something really bad and that something dirty or that you have to hide. Like, I don't understand. Like,
but
I just don't get it.
You remember seeing that that little report that the mom was autistic herself, saying that she knows that people mean well, but they're not autistic themselves,
right? And
that these parents,
right,
or therapists that are not autistic themselves, caballero, ¿qué es eso?
No, and I've seen so much of this, and it's gotta stop. These people are harming. They are harming the autistic community by having those comments.
Yeah, and not only that, if my child cannot speak, just because I myself don't have autism, I cannot
speak on behalf of my child.
How much sense does that make?
Like, I've seen a lot of people fighting amongst each other in different groups on Facebook, and I'm on a few of them, and there's really only one that I totally really resonate with. But I've seen so many groups and people fighting on Facebook about how a mom or a blogger, we follow a few of those, who should not be making decisions for her kiddo because they should be able to make decisions for themselves or whatever. Well, I am glad that your kid is in a level and that your kid is able to make decisions for himself. Mine is not. And it is my job. It is my job as a parent to make those decisions for him and to be his voice. Because if I didn't, then you know what? That same group would be calling me a shitty ass parent.
It's almost kind of like a damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of deal.
Right. So
I feel like, I don't know where the balance lays. Like, I don't know.
This topic, it really usually ends up pissing me off because, it's probably that same group that came up with autism is not a disability, it's a different ability. If you really feel that you believe that, if you 100% feel that it is not a disability, Now, there's different...
Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it is a different ability.
Right, but it is a disability.
But it is a disability.
Right. You could have a different ability, but that doesn't mean that that autism is not considered a disability.
Okay.
Maybe we have different maybe it's not a disability for some people. Maybe I'll leave it at that because I can't speak for other kids. But for my child, autism is very much a disability. And when a lot of times when people come up with that, with, it's a different ability, it's not a disability. Maybe it's not a disability for your child, but it's a disability for my child. If autism wasn't a disability, then we wouldn't be able to collect disability. It's very simple. It's very simple. You would not be able to get...
But those same people do collect disability.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
No, I totally agree.
Just saying.
I totally agree.
Well, I was here looking down because I am looking at one of the things that we were reading.
And by the way, hold on. I just want to say, it's not bad to collect disability.
No.
If you are disabled.
No.
But
then don't say it's not.
But don't say it's not a disability, because then you're looking like a hypocrite and you're looking like you want to live off the government. But it is. And for my child, I can speak for my child. For my child, autism is a disability. Does he have other abilities? And is there kids that are, that have all these crazy abilities? Absolutely, yes. But
I feel like most of the people that say that have higher
yes, but not just that. Not just that their kids are a lot higher functioning. That group also doesn't agree that there's such a thing. They get very offended by high functioning and lower functioning or severe autism. They don't believe that there's such a thing. Sweetheart, I've had some fights with people on the internet.
Another thing that is also going on on the web, on the internet, that instead of the blue pumpkin, okay, they want to do, and we're gonna also show it on the screen, okay, these bags, okay, and one of them right now I'm looking at, it says, "Hi, my name is so and so. I have autism," big letters. "I can't say trick or treat, but I'm trying."
I think it's very nice.
I think it's really cute.
But
but first of all, one thing that I see wrong here is that I don't want my kid's name.
Thank you. When you have a neurotypical child and you go up to a door and you say trick or treat, they don't say hi, yes. What is Paul. Your name? My name is Paul, and you don't start just giving them a home. No, you just say trick or treat. So I would probably shorten it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or say I'm not able to speak. And another thing too that I have a problem, not just with the baggie, but especially with the blue pumpkin, is you could not be able to speak and not have autism. You could be mute.
Selective
mutism. Or a million other things. You could be deaf, and because you're deaf, you're not able to speak.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean you have autism.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna do? That's the purple pumpkin.
No. There you go.
There you go. We're gonna have a pumpkin for each.
All different colors.
For the rainbow. For each condition.
We're gonna do the pink. We're gonna do the blue. All the colors.
I do like that idea, and only because the world is a cruel place. And it is our job to...
Girl.
It is... I just feel like it's, as parents of kids with special needs, it is our job. We say all the time how you don't spread advocacy by lighting a blue light bulb, or...
No.
It's by real... we say this over and over again, right? So I think that naturally people aren't always the best, and so it's our job to educate them. But... I don't think it has to be.
We go back to compassion, people.
Yeah, exactly.
We go back to compassion.
If you see that you have a child at your door, whether they have a blue pumpkin or whatever pumpkin it is that they have, or a regular pumpkin, and
they're struggling,
or they're not able to speak, or the mom is speaking for them,
then...
Because I know what I would do. Like, we haven't gone trick-or-treating with Justin in a long time. He doesn't care for it. But if we were, I would say trick or treat so he could repeat it. But that's only because he could repeat it. He may not know what it is or care for it, but he could repeat it if I ask him to. But there's kids that are not even able to do that. So, but the parent will usually say it. If the parent is saying it and you have a kiddo that's old enough to speak, if they were a neurotypical child,
right,
and the parent is the one saying it, assume that it's because the child is not able to say it. I don't think we need to have a different bag for each medical condition.
No, not necessarily, no. And we were looking into a blogger that we don't agree with necessarily.
Right.
But in a certain way, I do. You know, I'm going to speak for myself, right? So, she goes on into why she will not use the bag or the bucket. You know, she doesn't want to put a label on her kids, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? So she lists 3 different reasons why she is not going to do it, right? 1, I'm the only one in charge of protecting my child.
Okay, no one's telling you otherwise.
I agree 100%.
Right.
Because, again, I'm not going to rely on a teal pumpkin,
right,
on a blue pumpkin,
of course not,
or on a bag that says, I am autistic, for people to be kind, for people to give them the right stuff,
right,
you know, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree with that.
So, I agree. Right? Then, I like this one. Because, you know, Juana de Hialeah, right? So she says, mean old Mary down the street doesn't really care about my kids' issues.
Okay.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
La vieja Juana de la esquina ni sabe, ni le importa, o si le importa, no, you know, whatever. That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
Then number 3 is
my favorite.
Labeling disabled people is wrong.
No. I disagree. I 100% disagree. I 100% disagree with her. We need to stop thinking of disability being a bad word.
Listen, it's not like your child is going to go everywhere and everywhere, you know, with a big, you know,
it's the most sticker. Idiotic thing, honestly, that I have ever.
This is not about labeling that way.
I have ever encountered.
Right? This is. People have to understand that it's a disability like any other disability. People in a wheelchair, people blind. If a blind person is walking around with a cane, how are you going to hide that?
Right.
How are you not going to label that?
We still have a while for Halloween, but like I've been seeing Christmas trees.
I see.
I've been seeing all kinds, like, you know.
Ahorita sacan cosas de Valentine's.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we just wanted to do a quick video, which ended up not being really quick. Right. But we are expecting this really nasty weather this week.
So hopefully it doesn't hit us that hard.
And people are able to actually view our videos, because, you know, if they don't have power, you know, and they don't have battery on their phones and stuff, you know, they might not be able to view our videos, but hopefully that's not the case.
It's not going to be the case.
No.
Stay safe, stay dry.
Yes.
And we will be back next week. Follow us. Like, share. We're all over the place.
On YouTube, on our website, spectrummamis.com, MAMIS. And on most of the podcast platforms as well.
So yeah. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.